right. In 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to episode 226 of the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined by my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Dee Jonay.
Hey,
What's going on, friend?
how you doing, friend?
I'm very good, friend. You doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Glad that you could join me once again for another exciting episode of the WrassleCast.
Of course. Happy to be here.
We're joined by the Rawcast broadcast journalist, none other than Magnum Prime. What's going on, Greg?
I'm finally back.
Do you like Bruce Pritchard?
Well, I could take some of Bruce Pritchard's newly found cash off his hands if he'd like to donate that to a good cause.
Speaking of a good cause and donating, head over to cspn.us, click on the Keep Our Podcast Free tab at the top of the page, then do some shopping with one of our sponsors. Some of that cash will come back to the WrassleCast to help keep the WrassleCast free each and every week here on CSPN. So we'll get into the news portion of the show. Ty Dillinger, Hideo Itami, and TJ Perkins have all been released by the WWE.
Oh,
Now, the first two guys, they had asked for their release, but TJP, he was all about staying. He was outspoken, and he called us straight. Mm-hmm.
oh.
So, one last time, Miss Dee, what's your gimmick?
My gimmick is still that I am a grown ass woman.
Yes. So, pour some out for TJP and his WWE career.
R.I.P. video game boy.
So, Greg, in your opinion, who has the biggest upside out here in these indie streets between Ty Dillinger, Hideo Itami, and TJ Perkins?
Uh, on the Indies, I would probably go with Dillinger. Actually, on the Indies, as far as just other outside promotions outside of WWE, I would of course go with Hideo Itami.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. I guess he's going back to Japan, so he'll be doing his thing on a streaming service near you. Next up, Arn Anderson, who has held a backstage role with the WWE since 2001. He was fired last week. Apparently, there have been some things going on backstage for quite a while. There was a situation at a house show. Arn Anderson took the blame for it, and so it cost him his job. So now he's out here as a free agent. If he wants to be, assume that role in another company, he can. But if he wants to go home and chill out for a minute, that's cool too. But, he was the guy who put together a lot of the big main events that John Cena had over the years. And a lot of the wrestlers were on Twitter showing their love for Double A, and he helped them with so many matches and things like that. So it'll be cool to see where he lands next. Hopefully he'll do a podcast or two before he decides to get a new job, so we can hear some of those stories.
That was the first thing that I thought of as you mentioned it. I was like, man, now we get the podcast stories.
Yeah, man, because I know that Chris Jericho said that he's wanted to interview him, and he just has a hard time trying to pin him down because he's so busy. I know Stone Cold said that he's one of the people that he's got on his list that he hasn't interviewed yet that he wants to. So between those two guys, hopefully they'll be able to corner him and get some content from him, because I know he's got some great stories from all those years of being in the business and working behind the scenes. Speaking of working behind the scenes, old brother Love is back. Bruce Pritchard. He's been hired to be a part of the creative team in WWE, and he's going to have like a special advisor role where he's going to be working directly with Vince. So I guess Bruce is going to be more like the quality control guy, I guess. So we'll see how this works out. But what a turnaround for old brother Love, man. 3 years, he's went from outside the wrestling business completely to having the biggest podcast in wrestling to now being back in the WWE in the role that he once had before. So I'm pretty sure Stephanie McMahon was over the moon over this.
Well, bygones be handguns. Yeah, I'm sure
Do
it's
you know
all
do you know
bullets
the
under the
story?
bridge.
Do you know the story about this, Didi?
No, no, I don't.
Oh,
But I like
okay.
it.
So Bruce Pritchard, he's from Texas or whatever, right? So,
Mm,
people from Texas and their guns.
mm.
And so, yeah, Bruce Pritchard was just, bringing his gun to work. And one day he like got into it with one of the people on the creative team, and he apparently, or it's alleged that he showed him the gun. And they
Mm-hmm.
went back and told Stephanie about it. And he had already been like him and Stephanie already hadn't already been seeing eye to eye about some stuff.
Mm.
And so they fired his ass.
Well, I mean, you can't be bringing your gun into the office. That's a little too much.
Yeah. So, but he's back. So,
I mean, but then again, if you stand out there, you got a gun. Why ain't you flashing when Randy Orton was flashing his penis at your coworkers? Oh,
Not his problem.
mm, okay.
Not his problem.
You better use your gun for good. Sitting up there watching people get sexually harassed. Allegedly.
allegedly. Thank you.
Hmm.
And our final bit of news is the best damn intercontinental champion of all time. The Honky Tonk Man has been named the second inductee into this year's WWE Hall of Fame. So, the originator of the guitar smashing, the Honky Tonk Man, is finally in. Wayne Ferris has been very outspoken about what he will and won't do as far as it comes to Vince McMahon and his money. But looks like he's going to cash the check this time.
Can you blame him?
So we'll get to hear from the Honky Tonk Man. Who do you think is going to induct him?
Jimmy Hart.
Think it'd be Jimmy Hart?
Jake the Snake. Why they have that damn snake all the way in the video package like that? That was real disrespectful.
Okay, little known fact. I think this is WrestleMania. It's got to be 5 or 6. I think it's 5. It's Rhythm and Blues, Honky
I
Tonk
know where you're
Man,
going.
and Greg Valentine. They come to the ring in this pink Cadillac.
Mm.
Well, the person who owned the pink Cadillac, Diamond Dallas Page.
Yep.
What
Ooh.
did he charge the WWF to use the pink Cadillac? Let me drive it to the ring.
Oh,
Yep.
that's cute.
So he's in WrestleMania 5 or 6 or whatever, and he's driving the Cadillac down to the ring.
I love that.
Yeah, man. DDP's like scattered all over wrestling before he even wrestled. He's got all these different appearances in all these big places. So,
Ultimate hustler.
right, right. That's our news for this week. Now it's time for Monday Night Raw in the city of Atlanta. We're going to celebrate Ric Flair's birthday. But first, Roman Reigns. He made his return to address his battle with leukemia. Of course, he got an amazing reaction. He was very touched by it. He thanked the fans. He admitted that he was afraid to reveal his battle, but he said that the fans' support made it okay and it gave him strength. He says he has a new purpose and he plans to use his platform to support those that need it. He says he has an update. He says that he is in remission and that the big dog is back. Yeah. So, Miss Didi Jonay,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't have a beard.
Mm-mm.
He had a goatee.
Mm.
He's a little bit slimmer
Yes, he
and
is.
trimmer,
Mm-hmm.
but he looked healthy. He looked
Mm-hmm.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Rested. Yeah.
yes. So, how do you feel about having your big dog back?
I'm a big fan. A great fan of this. Yes. I don't. I still don't trust the WWE when it comes to things. So I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but it doesn't matter. He's pretty and he's back. And I'll take it.
If you saw this live, he did one of those Rob Van Dam laps around the ring, like a
Hmm.
double.
Did you see that asshole?
Oh yeah, they removed him
Good.
from the paint. The dude who was mugging when like everybody in the world was trying to shake his hand and tell him thank you for coming back. And
Yeah.
yeah, and there's this one guy being a total jerk. Yeah, they snatched him up out the front row.
Good. Get away. You still there. You're not even in the moment. Go away somewhere. Oh, got on my damn nerves. I was mad on I was mad on the Twitter machine. Like, why are you here, sir? Missing the moment. Some people.
Greg, your thoughts on just Roman being able to come back from the leukemia and his prospects moving forward through, kind of a tough time to come back if you're the writers, but a good time to have him back as well, right here with WrestleMania on the doorstep.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw when Daniel Bryan came back, it was kind of very patchwork put together at the last minute for WrestleMania. So, I mean, when you got one of your biggest stars who's certainly available again, I mean, you do the best you can. I mean, of course, I'm happy to see Roman back. Hopefully, he'll enjoy a much longer period of remission. And I mean, this is one of Vince's top guys, so I'm sure they'll push him to the moon again.
Yep. Can't wait to see the big dog come back, what program they're going to have him in. And then hopefully they'll let him use his real speaking voice, as they found, he's been really engaging in these two promos that he's had. The one that he announced he was having to leave because of the leukemia coming back. And then this one where he announced that he was in remission. The most engaging and best promos he's ever cut. He was just being himself. So maybe they can incorporate that into their style when he comes back and starts doing these promos to sell matches. But we get our first match of the evening. Aleister Black and Ricochet, they're teaming up to go against the Raw Tag Team Champions, The Revival. The Revival attacked before the bell, but were quickly sent to the floor, and they both got hit with dives. After the break, it was all action, and Aleister Black quickly ended things with the Black Mass. So 2 weeks in a row, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the best tag team on Raw, they get beat by two, up and coming NXT teams. I don't like it. You can have two jobber tag teams from NXT come up, do something on TV, get them some experience. Don't waste a Revival. Let them come out there and talk trash, but don't get them beat like that. That's just not good. Gray, how you feel about that? You agree with me on that, or you
I
feel
agree with it, but it does seem like they have not been happy with the company, that they really wanted to leave. So if there was any team that was, going to take it on the chin for some up and coming talent, I'm not surprised that it's them, even though they are the champs at this time. But you can't, you can't be, I say you can't be halfway pregnant. Okay, either you want to be there or you don't want to be there. So
and I totally understand that. And if I'm the Revival, then don't give us the belts. If you're gonna beat us in the dust, then don't give us the belts. That's just disrespectful.
yeah, but at the end of the day, the checks are clearing. For however long they're gonna clear, they're clearing. So they just gotta do what they gotta do, unless they want to just go home, like Neville. Just peace out. Here you go. We'll send this back to your FedEx. I mean, they
Yeah,
can do that, but it's gonna be even longer before they can leave if they do that.
yeah, because then they're gonna hold them to the full length.
Exactly.
Tough situation, man. Tough situation. So backstage, the our favorite reporter, Charlie, she's back there with Baron Corbin. She's discussing Corbin's reaction to Roman's announcement that he would have to give up the title back in October. Corbin says he was under a lot of stress and that, he really wasn't aware of what he was saying. And, he just needs to make sure that Baron Corbin doesn't come across Roman Reigns. Don't cross my path is basically what Baron Corbin said. So everybody's favorite bartender talking tough. We get a Lacey Evans ring walk. Then Dean Ambrose interrupts Elias as well, back to back. So they're treating Elias so bad. Elias eventually gets laid out by Ambrose for the dirty deeds. Natalya and Ronda Rousey, they face off against the Riot Squad in the form of Ruby Riot and Sarah Logan with Liv Morgan on the outside. Ronda Rousey got the hot tag. She ran wild. It broke down. Ronda hit the Piper's Pit. Then the man arrived. Becky Lynch took out Natalya. Then we get a disqualification. Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, they beat on each other. Then they beat up police and they beat up agents, leading to a big pull apart. And then Becky got arrested and let out of the arena. The funniest part was, don't arrest me. I need these hands. Don't arrest me. I need these hands to hold up the women's title. He's like, don't be arresting me. You need to be arresting them. So Ronda was helping Natalya up the ramp because Natalya got knocked the fuck out. And then she doubled back around. Ronda calls out Vince, but Stephanie comes out. Ronda wants Becky reinstated. Ronda wants Stephanie to get Becky out of jail and to make the Mania match. The crowd actually chanted for a triple threat, but Steph refused her request. Rousey stood up to Stephanie, and then she proclaimed that they had made the title worthless, and she left without the title to prove her point that she wouldn't be bullied around and that she wanted the match and Becky to be inside the match as well. So, all right, Miss Didi, you can have at it. Ronda trying to get this point across with all her mumbo jumbo and her promo. It sounded like my recap, really muddled and fuddled.
It was very all over the place. I don't know what. I don't know if they gave her a script or if they gave her an outline and they said just make sure you say these three things, and she couldn't do it. Whatever she was trying to do, she didn't do it. SmackDown tried to make it nice on the review. They kind of edited her so it flowed a little more smoothly what she was trying to say, but she's disrespectful in a way that I don't know that she means to be. But it's just like I got this belt. It's not even my type of belt. It's not my aesthetic. But ain't nobody asked you what your aesthetic was for the belt. Like, are you dumb? So, she's just different. Lil Ronda is. I don't know what to do with her.
Greg, for effect, do you think they should have used a trash can?
Yeah, that probably would have been a bit better. But I mean, at this point, just get it over with, because it seems like she's gonna go away after this anyway. Just get to that point. The promos from her, they're not helping sell the match. Just get it over with.
Vince McMahon is an evil freaking genius. 3 weeks ago, nobody wanted Charlotte Flair anywhere near this match. You fast forward to Becky getting suspended, Becky making a couple of attacks, Becky getting arrested. Now you got the freaking fans in Atlanta going, three-way, three-way, three-way. Like, what is going on here? Yeah, you didn't hear them cheering for that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
You people, you know how to lose the plot.
Triple threat. That's what they were saying.
You all know how to lose the plot so quickly. Because no.
Like, what is going on here?
I saw Becky tear it down, and my thought was Charlotte still has nothing to do with this. Like, I feel like it's people watching a bouncing ball move and they don't know where it went under the cup. Like, remember you didn't want this, right? Remember, you still don't. No, oh, okay.
It's amazing.
It's something.
Jinder Mahal, he came out, he ran down Ric Flair, and then he issued an open challenge to anyone invited to Flair's party since Jinder wasn't invited. Kurt Angle answers the challenge. So Jinder Mahal versus Kurt Angle. Didi after a distraction from the scene.
Hey.
Jinder Mahal attacked and controlled the action early on. Kurt Angle, he made a comeback. He hit some Germans. Then he got the ankle lock, and Jinder Mahal had to tap. It's time for a moment of bliss. Finn Balor is Alexa's guest. Bliss ran down Rousey and offered to take her place before marveling at Finn Balor's abs.
Fair. Very fair.
Lio Rush interrupted. Balor stirred the pot between Lio and Bobby Lashley and offered Lio an IC title shot. So we get an Intercontinental title match between Finn Balor and Lio Rush. They go into some back and forth spots with some good near falls, and Lio focuses on the knee of Finn Balor. Balor manages to cut Lio off, and he hit the double stomp, and he gets the win. Lashley then yells at Lio backstage for not getting him the Intercontinental title shot, which was the whole point of Lio interrupting the moment of bliss in the first place. So G Money, how do you feel about Lio Rush becoming a more of a wrestler than the hype man lately on Monday Night Raw? And is there a bigger future besides him being the go-between between Lashley and Finn Balor for these Intercontinental title matches?
I mean, it probably depends on how long this program lasts. I don't think it's gonna last too much longer, but I mean, I definitely think he has a future being the mouthpiece, so to speak. But I really don't think it's gonna last too much longer. I think they're gonna pair Finn with somebody else pretty soon.
Braun Strowman, he faces off against Bobby Lashley. Lashley attacked before the bell and he took early control of the match, but Braun quickly cut him off, and Braun started to run him over, and he left. He left standing tall. There was no actual match because the bell never rang because Lashley attacked before the bell.
Get these hands.
Seth promises to beat Brock at WrestleMania, and he's happy to have Roman back. Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre in a no disqualification match. They immediately brawled on the floor as Dean was out for revenge from last week, of course. Corbin, Lashley, Elias, and Drew then all arrive on the scene and beat the shit out of Dean. But Seth and Roman, they come and made the save. They cleared the ring, and then they leave. Seth and Roman do walk up the ramp, leaving Dean in the ring all by his lonesome. But they do look back at him like, you should be with us. And he looks at them like, yeah, maybe I should. But we don't have an official reunion yet. Do you think they can get to the Shield reunion one last time before Dean Ambrose hits the dough?
I'm sure they will. At one good pay-per-view at the very least.
Are you here for it, though? Have they gone to it too much, or are you still here for it?
It'll always be cute, but I'm not here for it in particular. I got what I needed. I got Roman and I got Seth together in the ring looking like snacks. Like, I don't need too much else. But what I need is no more heel turns. That's actually what I need. Like, I don't need stuff going back to the old him. None of that. I don't need Roman talking about you thought you had a friend. Like, I don't want no. Let's just keep it even.
Nia Jax, she faced off against Bayley. Sasha Banks and Tamina are at ringside. Bayley fired up, mounted to come back, sending Nia to the floor. Nia cut Bayley off and sent her into the trio well. Sasha Banks helped out, and Bayley hit the top rope elbow drop, and Bayley got the win. Now it's time for the Ric Flair 70th birthday celebration. The babyface roster is on the stage. Triple H and Stephanie are our host. There's a beautiful birthday cake. Shawn Michaels, Ricky Steamboat, Kurt Angle, and Sting were all announced and then came out to the ring. Flair was finally announced following a great video package. And then we see a shot of the backstage. And we see this large gentleman dragging some poor cameraman on his knees, telling him to get over here. We switch to what's on the cameraman's camera, and it's Batista. He's arrived, and he drags the limp carcass of Ric Flair out of his dressing room. He looks into the camera. He asks Triple H if he has his attention now. Triple H jumps out of the ring, runs to the back to try to help Ric Flair. Batista's long gone as they call for the paramedics, as Ric Flair is almost dead out on the concrete floor. Just an amazing angle to end this week's Monday Night Raw.
I enjoyed it just because I know that all of us thought it was going to be Becky who put the boots to Rick, and they swerved us because I wasn't thinking nothing about Batista.
Yes, it was masterfully done. Greg, you would have thought old Vince Russo would have had something to do with that, huh?
Oh wow. I think you're giving him far too much credit on that, but yeah, it was a nice path to what has to take place with him and Triple H doing a bit of business.
This was a very good Monday Night Raw. If you haven't heard, I don't know if we covered it, but they basically hired the whole Impact TNA old agent force. So Shane Helms, Abyss, Jeff Jarrett, and Sonya Dutt, and they're like the new crop of agents, along with Bruce Pritchard being as like the new kind of, I guess, like I said, quality control guy. So this was like kind of a new version of Monday Night Raw. It seemed like it was faster. It seemed like it was more action packed. It didn't have too many lulls. The matches were more up tempo. I was impressed. So I'd give this one like an 8. Dee,
Oh
your
wow.
rating?
I'll give it a 7. Well, Roman gives you a bonus point, so yeah, I'll give it a 8.
Oh, gee, yeah, it was strong. If you watched it in real time, it was real strong. But
Okay.
like I said, going into the show, with they announced Roman was going to come out and say something on Friday. They had been, boosting up for a month this Ric Flair birthday thing. So I mean, you basically had your beginning and your end, whichever way you wanted to play it, already set up. You just had to make sure the middle was good, and they did a good job of that. So you are listening to the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don Delarente. I'm joined by Miss Didi Jonay, our SmackDown Matters correspondent, as well as Magnum Prime, our Rawcast broadcast journalist. You can find the WrassleCast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Play, Google Play, and iTunes. Let me start that all over. 3, 2, 1. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and YouTube. So at this time, Miss Didi Jonay, I'm going to turn it over to you for your SmackDown Matters report.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Smacky Downey was, I believe it was in Charlotte.
Yes,
Did I make?
ma'am.
Oh, look at me. I remember things. Yes. They were in Charlotte, and I have not pulled up the list yet. So give me 7 seconds.
Dance break.
There we go. So yeah, it starts with Daniel Bryan and Kofi's contract signing. Shane and Stephanie are there to host it. Shane's putting over Kofi huge. Daniel Bryan is looking all sad. Kofi's introduced. He takes a fan lap before getting into the ring. He discusses his first WWE. Damn, it says first title shot. At Fastlane and fan support, Vince arrives, gives Kofi praise, but he says that as great as Kofi is, they need somebody better, a little more interesting. There's just a better fit, and where Kofi's not going to be at the pay per view, and everybody's terribly sad because we stand Kofi, but the person replacing Kofi is Kevin Owens. Swerve.
I watched this late. I didn't get any spoilers or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 11:15. Kofi's out there. He's doing all that. I'm like, damn. Thinking to myself, he's
Mm-hmm.
taking too long. Then they put up that long video package. I'm like, this shit is taking too long. But it's something
Mm-hmm.
fast. So like, oh, I'm getting a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Then Vince comes out there and then he's doing his thing. And then he goes, however. And man, I was like, however? What you mean, however? It's like, oh no. This is the worst.
This is masterful because you've got all the crowd behind Kofi, pissed that he has lost his opportunity, and then you swerve them with Kevin Owens, who they love more than their parents. So it was difficult for the fans to understand what the correct feeling was.
For
Uh,
sure. I was one of those people.
yeah, Biggie and Xavier Harper, they know how they feel, and they're pissed. So backstage, KO meets with Steph and Shane. He's like, I'm glad that Vince knows that I'm a bad bitch, but he doesn't necessarily wish that it had happened at the expense of Kofi because he knows that Kofi deserves too. So his suggestion is that he can team with Kofi and they'll face Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan tonight. In the meantime, and maybe because it's in North Carolina, the Bar have a match with the Hardy Boys. And all I'm thinking is, I knew that old man retired.
That's what I said too. But Matt Hardy been hitting the gym.
Mm. But was it just a one off because it was in Charlotte, or
I
is he
don't
back?
know. I don't
The
know.
road to WrestleMania, the curves and the swerves. Um. Anyway, the Hardys run wild early on. The Bar quickly fight back, cut off Jeff to take the heat. Matt gets the hot tag, makes a comeback, hits a twist of fate and a swanton, and they put the Bar away because who comes out of retirement to lose? The Undertaker. Our Truth versus Andrade versus Rey Mysterio. This is our Truth's open challenge. Basically, whoever gets there first is his opponent. Andrade arrives, but Rey runs out, punches, ooh, excuse me, punches Andrade, and gets to the ring first in an attempt to steal the title shot. Our Truth doesn't make good choices though, so he allows them to have a triple threat match. Now, if you recall, a triple threat means you don't have to pin the champion to win, so even worse of an idea. However, it works out for Our Truth. He retains via a desperation roll up on Rey Mysterio. Um, this was right after Ray hit the 619 on Andrade. He was going for both of them, but Our Truth is an amazing wrestler these last few weeks, and he managed to get out of the way. How did
How'd
he
you
feel?
how'd you now let me ask you a question. How'd you feel about Archu saying that he want to be like his idol, John Cena?
I was like, not in Black History Month. Like, I just, uh, well, first of all, Our Truth is older than him, so I need you to look up to an adult, first off. Secondly, why John Cena? I know why, open challenge, but Kevin Owens had an open challenge too. Gosh,
Our truth throw so hard. Throw so hard.
hurts my feelings. Next, Charlotte comes out. She's in her bad bitch heel persona. She praises Vince for screwing Kofi and claims that she was anointed to save the Mania main event by Vince because she's not a criminal like Becky or a quitter like Ronda. Well, that's funny. She claims that they fear her and that she is above both of them and a true champion. She says that her next stop is to go to Raw so that she can be crowned the new Raw Women's Champion since Ronda laid the title in the ring and ran home to her boyfriend or her husband. Did you know Ronda be beating people up? Like in her love life? Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Maybe that's why she always got that man at the front row. He's like, you can't go nowhere. Fuck you, Dad. No, I'm joking. I'm not joking. Next, Ricochet and Aleister Black have another tag match, this time with Rusev and Nakamura. How do we feel about Aleister's entrance? I
Oh,
stand.
it's the bomb digger.
That's not how it was in NXT, or was it?
It's more smoky and they had more candles. It was much darker.
Oh. Like, I don't recall ever seeing him, like, come to, I guess I've never seen him come to the ring because I don't recall him coming up on no plank out of the middle of nowhere. Like, I live for that.
Yeah, it's always been that way. But see, the thing about the NXT is on their stage, you can't see the crowd on either side, and they would shoot
Um,
it really tight and kind of from the kind of beneath position. So when he
uh-huh.
came up, he looked even cooler and taller.
Oh, he's a little man. Him and Zelina like the same height. JK, JK. So anyway, Alistair, and I like Ricochet's entrance as well. But Alistair Black finished Nakamura with a black mass, and Ricochet took out Rusev with a tap. Wait, was that the match that had the terrible camera work, or was that the match on Monday? One of them,
Mm,
one of them
I
matches
think that
had
was the match on. I think that's the match on Monday. This
one of
one they
them.
caught it.
Okay, because one of them had, like, you could see that Alistair was doing something in the ring, and you could see that Ricochet was about to jump off the apron and do something crazy on the outside, and we only saw it on review because the camera missed it. And I was like, that's who needs to be arrested. Fuck what you talking about with Becky. That's who need to be suspended. I remember. Yes, it made me very angry. I be having feelings on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's very dramatic. But anyway, AJ cut a promo about needing to prove that this was still the house that AJ Styles built because, he's been on a losing streak lately. Randy Orton arrived and then he left. Lacey Evans is still doing a runway walk for no reason. I don't get it. Like, she's a pretty girl, but she's dressed like the 1950s. So it's not like it's just like I'm out here to be sexy kind of aesthetic. It's just like I'm just here. And I don't know why.
Hopefully, they figure something out in the next like week, so this all
Like,
means something.
it was vaguely amusing when she did it, and then the boy from Heavy Machinery did it too, because he was like, "What the fuck you doing?" And so that was kind of funny, but like, she's not even doing it in relation to anybody in particular, like not in relation to women's matches or not in relation to a certain male wrestler. Like, it literally has no context, and it's just like, is this what you thought was her version of Elias's gimmick? Like when he was the Drifter? Like, it's not the same thing though.
Yeah, because he had much better interactions with people backstage and stuff.
Yeah, it was backstage. It's not like he just walked out and then walked back up. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if you're gonna come out, why wouldn't you just come out and go sit at commentary? Even if you didn't go say anything at commentary, like, why wouldn't you just go sit and pose at commentary if all you want to do is be seen? Like, none of it makes sense. I don't understand. But anyway, your main event of the night is Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan versus KO and Co. Ooh, K and K. They get heat on Kofi, then always gets the hot tag. He runs wild. He pins Daniel Bryan with the Stone Cold Stunner. That is how your SmackDown ended. Twitter had feelings about Kevin using the Stunner. I don't particularly care, do you?
As long as he won the match with it, I don't have a problem with it. Don't be using it as no near
Transition.
fall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no transitional move. But yeah, yeah, I was when he hit it, I was like, oh, this about to be some bullshit. He about to kick out, and then he won. I was like, okay, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Fair.
Yeah, give it up for the legendary moves. DDTs and stunners need to be finishing moves.
I agree.
Especially if you do one of those crazy, tornado satellite spin around 3 times and then DDT the dude on his head and he lands
Yeah.
straight up. You
Yeah.
need to pin the dude with that.
Yeah. That's definitely like end of that should be the end of something, yes.
Right. So how'd you feel about SmackDown?
I don't recall feeling anything in particular. So I would definitely have to give it like a 6, like a 5, 7, 5. Like it didn't give me anything in particular. Maybe the lack of Becky was getting to me. It's possible.
I give it like a 7. It was just under Raw to me. They were both very good, just under Raw. So let's discuss this, okay? Let's
Okay.
discuss the psychology a little bit.
All right.
Okay, after I got out of my feelings, I'm gonna hold on to this little nugget of fool's gold, right?
Uh-huh.
Vince is gonna do it to us again. All right.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Just got us all jacked up in the last day of Black History Month. Here he comes out to be what's Leo Donardo's character name in Django?
Oh, I have mm.
But yeah, him. He comes out.
Colonel Racist? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I forgot what his damn name is, but yeah, he comes out as him, right?
Uh-huh.
Takes the match away from Kofi, tells him, he's not qualified enough, he's not entertaining enough, all the normal shit you hear as a black person coming up.
Uh-huh.
Gives it to this white guy.
Calvin.
Yeah,
Calvin Candy.
yeah, comes out as like Mr. Candy, right?
Uh-huh.
Then here comes Kevin Owens, the obligatory white guy. We haven't seen in months, ain't earned nothing, hadn't beat Daniel Bryan at all, right?
Right.
So he's gonna get this match at Fastlane. So now we
Right.
all upset, right? But somehow, some way, Kofi's gonna find his way not at Fastlane to get his title shot, but at
Mm-hmm.
Wrestle freaking Mania. And if he gets the title shot at WrestleMania, there's only one outcome that should happen.
What?
That's Kofi winning the belt.
You believe that they'll do that?
I think they're going to do that. I
I feel
pray
like
they're
you
going to do
all
that.
and the boys on Twitter are smoking the good crack.
We got some of the hint belt residue
Like,
contact off
listen,
the hint belt.
that good hemp, like y'all. And listen, I will be happy to be wrong, but listen, I will put my faith in Gangrel before I put my faith in Vince McMahon giving Kofi Kingston a title that's not a tag title. I just, mm, good
Well,
luck.
again, remember, I preface this as fool's gold, but I'm going to hang on to it and hopefully it be real gold.
Listen, I hope you're right and not like pyrite. See, that's a fool's gold. Because fool's gold is pyrite. See, I did good in geology. Mm-hmm.
So here's hoping that Kofi Kingston gets his title shot at WrestleMania and comes out the champion when it's all said and done. That would be fun.
That would be fun. It would be a moment.
Oh, it would be a moment.
I
It
just,
would be a big moment.
I don't know.
Well, I can have my dreams. And if you can't dream like Ronda Rousey said, then what are you here for?
True.
So we'll move over to where people are living their dreams every day. That's NXT. Johnny Gargano, he heads to the ring and he says, it's been a pretty interesting past couple of weeks. He says, as one of the newest members of Raw and SmackDown, he's been able to show the WWE universe what NXT is all about. Gargano comments about his title match against Velveteen Dream and how he said after TakeOver Phoenix, he introduced everyone to Johnny Champion. But his first test, he lost the title. So then the crowd starts to chant Johnny Failure. He says he failed himself and all the fans and prefers the Johnny Champion chant. Gargano says he feels like a champion but doesn't have a championship. He goes to say he realized the only reason he's had success around here was, and then Tommaso Ciampa music hits. From the stage, Ciampa says they both know Gargano is at his best when he's next to Ciampa. They proved it already on the main roster. Whenever they're in the ring together, they win, except for last week. Ciampa says he offered the help, but Gargano wanted to go at it alone and lost. Ciampa says while he's standing here with the title, Gargano is without one, but that doesn't have to be the case since the Dusty Rhodes Classic is around the corner. Ciampa says the winner gets a title opportunity at TakeOver New York, the big stage, the brightest lights. He says if they team up, they will be the champions. Ciampa holds his hand out. Gargano shakes it. Ciampa smiles, and he heads back up the ramp. So now we've got the reformation of DIY on NXT television.
Hey.
So this is going to be a newer version of it, though, because they're going to be straight up, I guess, heels or halfway crooks. I don't know what their aesthetic is going to be, but it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Backstage, Kathy Kelly, she talks with Ricochet about him having unfinished business with the Undisputed Era, despite making noise on the main roster this week. Ricochet says he understands if he fights one member of the group, he's fighting all four, but he's okay with that because Aleister Black has his back. He knows the Undisputed Era is in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, so he says he's off to tell William Regal that Aleister Black and himself want to be in the tournament as well. Outside, Gargano follows Ciampa, and then they bump into Candice LeRae, who isn't pleased. Yeah, again, huh? Gargano says to trust him, but she's not happy, and she storms off.
I saw this clip on Twitter,
Uh-huh.
and the guy had put, when your mama tell you no, but your daddy tell you yes, but that's none of your business. Because the way Ciampa slid from between them was like, not my problem.
Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah, they take on Tanara Conti and Xia Li. Vanessa Bourne gets the blind tag and takes down Xia Li and Tanara Conti. Aaliyah hits a running blockbuster, yanking Xia Li over Vanessa Bourne's knee, and they get the victory. So they're trying to build these two young ladies as a new tag team as they start working together out of the blue a couple of weeks ago. The Velveteen Dream, he's in the parking lot about to enter the building. He goes to answer a question, and the Undisputed Era rolls up on him. Adam Cole says he'll be the new North American champion soon enough. Cole also asked the interviewer that she should be talking to Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, who will be the next tag team champions. Dream lets him know that I don't have time for you boys, and he walks off. Backstage, Kathy Kelly, she says she's waiting for Rigo to finalize the teams for the Dusty Rhodes Classic when she hears a bunch of yelling in the distance and the cameras roll up on Bianca Belair and Io Shirai having a shouting match before they eventually get separated. Did you see this?
No.
Oh yeah, they're in the hallway and Io Shirai is like speaking in Japanese, and they loud, and Bianca Belair is like, "Girl, what you gonna do?" Yeah, it's cool. Dominic Dijakovic versus Keith Lee. Dijakovic lands a running kick that sends Keith Lee out to the floor. Dijakovic is on the apron and he looks for let me say that again. Acai moonsault, and he takes out Keith Lee. They both land hard on the ramp and are slow to get up. The referee starts his 10 count, and neither can get back in the ring, and we have a double count out. This was a hoss match, two really big gentlemen doing really amazing athletic things. So I would suggest to anybody check that match out, even though it ends in a double count out. It's a really good match. Keith Lee is amazing. Ricochet and Aleister Black, DIY, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and Mustache Mountain are the last four teams to be announced for the Dusty Rhodes Classic. So they will be joining the Undisputed Era, the Forgotten Sons, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bartel, and the Street Profits. So your first round matches are Mustache Mountain versus the Street Profits, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Forgotten Sons, DIY versus the Undisputed Era, Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bartel, and the tournament begins next week. Mustache Mountain versus Street Profits. Too bad they got to face each other in the first round. So hoping Street Profits would go far, but I don't know if they're going to beat Mustache Mountain. And
Mustache Mountain is the truth.
And DIY versus Undisputed Era. Oh man, that's going to be good too. So William Regal says in 2 weeks, Io Shirai will face Bianca Belair, and the winner will take on the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler at NXT Takeover in New York. Then, in a big surprise, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Bayley, they come out to a huge pop, of
Oh,
course. We get a welcome back chant. Banks says it's good to be home, and their journey to become tag team champions began right here in NXT. Bayley says the last time she and Banks were in an NXT ring together was Takeover Respect, where they main evented
mm-hmm.
in their Iron Women match.
And
Bayley,
beat the shit out of each other. I remember.
Bayley says they want these titles to be the most sought out, talked about titles in all of WWE. Sasha says that they plan on taking the titles from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. Bayley tells the NXT women's locker room to step up, and maybe next time they return to NXT, they'll be defending the titles. So that was a pretty cool feel good moment right there. Main event time. Shayna Baszler faces off against Mia Yim in a non-title match. Mia hits Baszler with the sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Mia looks to finish things off, but Shayna Baszler hits a penalty kick, and then Shayna locks in the Karafuda clutch. Mia tries to break the hold, but Baszler wraps up Mia's arms with her legs, and Mia is forced to tap out, and Shayna Baszler is your winner. That was a really good match.
Yeah, that's good.
A really good. Like she gave Shayna all she wanted.
Good.
So you would be proud of Mia. Very, very proud.
I stand my Blasian sisters.
So that was NXT for this week. Very good episode. Check it out as always. NXT UK. I haven't watched the match, but I may go back and cherry pick it while I'm actually editing this podcast. Is the champions, the Grizzled Young Veterans, were going up against Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. So that's Zach Gibson and God, what's that other young guy's name that is his partner? But yeah, they're going up against 1-2 from NXT. I know that was a hell of a match, so I'm probably gonna watch that a little bit later. Have you been checking out anything from NXT UK, Miss Didi?
No, not in a while, but I know that girl is gonna debut soon. Her picture is very scary.
Jazzy Gabbard.
Yes,
Yeah,
her.
she's back in NXT UK. They actually signed a bunch of people over the past like 2 weeks for NXT UK.
They are putting a lot of effort behind NXT UK, and I do like it when I watch it. I really like them Coffee Brothers because they thick and they gingery, which is like all I need in life. So yeah, I really like that show.
Yeah, it's
Let's
a
see
good
what's
show.
more black people though. They no black British wrestlers.
Uh,
Gotta be a
uh,
couple.
there's got to be a couple.
Gotta
Yeah,
be a couple.
yeah, we gotta try to. I think there was one in the UK, the first UK tournament. I think there was one black wrestler.
Oh, well, let's get him. Actually, no, I don't believe in tokens. Let's get two, and then we'll.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check out the NXT UK product. I know we don't review it here on the show, but when they have some standout matches, we'll definitely talk about them here on the
Mm-hmm.
podcast. So at this point, Miss Didi Jonay, I'll turn it over to you for your thank you, shout outs, and all those good things.
Shout out to Mel because Mel always gets shout out. Shout out to you. Shout out to Samuel. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to everybody who's been tweeting. Shout out to everybody who has been tweeting how terrible that female wrestler is at the talking part of the job because she is horrific. So all my people who have been talking about with that with, yes, all the people I've been talking about that with, no, I don't know what words mean. People I've been talking to today. Shout out to all y'all. So that'd be like D Lovely 179, Kellen Daniel, OAW report. Um, yeah, Liberian superstar Crystal, so on and so forth. Shout out to all of y'all.
All right. I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Didi Jonay, also to Magnum Prime, Mr. Samuel Kalunga out there in the world. You'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Classic Materia. Hope he's doing well. Give a shout out to uh, Mel because Mel always gets shout outs. Give a shout out to everybody who's on the WrassleCast, live tweets, Rawcast, SmackDown Matters. Give a shout out to all the WrestleBays, the members of the Glow. Remember to head over to our Patreon page, become a Backstage Pass member so you can listen to the Dark Match, which are basically the pre and post show conversations that we have before we record these podcasts. Sometimes we talk about wrestling. Sometimes we talk about just what's going on. Sometimes Dee Dee tells us what she's making or keto diet, but it's always a cool little extra bonus part of the show that you can check out over on patreon.com/CSPN Media. And there's actually more than just dark matches up there. There's some things from the score and some exclusive content from other podcasts as well. So please check that out over on the Patreon page. And for Miss Didi Jonay, I'm Don Delarente. And for Magnum Prime as well, this has been episode 226 of the WrassleCast. Please stay tuned for the parting promo.
Oh my God.
Under an hour, Miss Didi.
Next week, it'll be episode 227. Oh my God.
So,
Oh my God.
so my theme song should be the theme song from 227? Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely. And if you can get that clip of Tatiana going, me, I would be so undone.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I remember having that conversation where I was like, no, it's episode 224 because I wanted it to be 227. So bad.
Well, yep, next week it's on the horizon.
Just a perfect number. Oh, so great.
What else you got going on? Oh, hold on. So what has been the basis of the conversation about Rhonda? Tell me the gist of what's everybody saying about it.
I mean, we're all just kind of in agreement that she's shit when it comes to the verbal aspects of her job. And then I'm just kind of like, what are you doing talking about I'm not gonna follow the scripts. I'm gonna really whoop your ass for real. What are you doing saying that armbar is not a real armbar? What? That doesn't make sense because nothing's happened to be like, oh, that was just acting. Now I'm really mad. It's like, why are you, what? Like, nothing's happened that you would need to break character, quote unquote. And so it just comes off weird. So Rusev is out there texting, being shady. Dolph Ziggler's being shady. Luke Harper being shady. And then he's like, why don't you pick on somebody who's still on TV? Like, everybody's being shady because what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is she doing?
Maybe she's trying to sabotage it so she can get up out of there.
But it's like, get out of there and go where? You clearly not going back to UFC because you're a horrible loser, even on fake matches.
She's gonna go be a mommy.
Who?
A mommy.
To who? Them chickens?
She's going, I guess, try to have a baby of her own.
Oh, is that real?
That's what the rumor and innuendo is.
Oh, is that what she wants to join Total Divas so she can still get a WWE check while not wrestling like Nikki and what's her name?
Now that's just smart business if you can make it happen.
I mean, it makes sense.
And it's a story that definitely would be fitting for that program.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So she may be playing chess, not checkers.
I still don't like the way it goes. Like, there are better ways to do it than to be like, your armbar was fake. Well, that means you were faking it too, girl. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think that she's ever understood that, hey, yes, there has to be a level of cooperation at all points and facets of this thing. So even in your talking points, you have to cooperate with what we have going on here.
Yeah, it's like I know it's fake, you know it's fake, they know it's fake. You don't have to tell us it's fake. We know.
But the whole art of it is to take that knowledge and use it against everybody and present it in a way that it's real. And you're the person with the most real background in the thing besides Brock. You don't hear him out here talking about, oh, that whatever was fake.
Right. It's like it's so weird. Like
She makes Brock look like a model citizen, doesn't she?
it's just like why are you so bad at this?
You actually, like, you know what? I respect how Brock carries it compared to the way that Ronda carries it.
And maybe it's because he's got Paul Heyman, so he doesn't even have to get into all that. All he got to do is go out and be a badass. He's got the person to talk for him. He don't even really got to say shit. He just sometimes got to, suplex City you 17 different times.
And
Maybe,
he curses on TV. Some he likes whenever he talks, he makes sure he curses on TV.
yeah. And I'm not mad at cursing. I said something on the audio like she does curse like a teenager who's using her first curse word. She does. But I don't care that she curses. That's not my issue. It's just like she doesn't make she doesn't talk like a real person. I feel like she knows who Ronda the UFC girl is. I don't think she has any concept of who Ronda the wrestler is. Because the minute everybody wasn't licking her ass, she don't know what to do with herself.
Yeah, the booze definitely have thrown her off for the past month or so.
It's like she's so confused. She's like, wait, I'm not the favorite. Everybody doesn't love me indiscriminately. I don't understand. And maybe they did her a disservice not her having an entourage. Like maybe had she come in with Shayna and them other two girls, at least there would have been like some support backing her. But it's like when she's lost, she just looks lost. And like there's nowhere to go. And it's uncomfortable for me because I wanna believe in the fantasy. I can go kayfabe. It can be real to me. But she takes me out of it every time because I'm just like, you're really not good at this. Like this makes no logic in any version of reality. And it pulls me out of it and I want to be in it. Like I'm already wasting 5 hours of my week every week with this shit. The least you could do is make me believe. Like I believe that Shayna want to break these bitches' arms. I believe it in my soul. I believe that Becky thinks she is the man. I believe that Charlotte thinks she is the best thing since sliced bread. I believe it. I don't believe shit that come out around the mouth. Ever. Like ever.
Yeah, it's the one thing that's the hardest part to get. I think when it comes to the way that WWE does their promos now is some people get it and some people don't. And the people who can deliver it and make you feel like you want to feel are the people who get pushed. That's the reason why Alexa Bliss has been the champion so many times. It's
Mm.
not that she can out wrestle anybody on the roster, but she can damn sure out talk anybody on the
Yes, she
roster.
can. Yes, she
And
can.
and that's what goes farther when you're the champion because you're gonna spend most of your time trying to promote matches, building matches by talking more than you wrestle.
Yeah. Becky said Ronda went full Russo earlier.
Yeah, they've been this been a very active day on Twitter with everybody. I kind of caught up late, but yeah, they've been having a lot to say about this.
Did you see Rusev?
No, I didn't see what he said.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Rusev said. Oh, he was like, that's not in the script. He said, I lost? I'm not supposed to lose. Let me see the script. Oh, and that was the gift. What he said was somebody be like. Oh, he said maybe Rhonda Man. He's using gifts. That's shady. Who's gorgeous?
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze. I forgot about my boo boo. He said, I thought it was Dolph Ziggler, and it was like brothers. He said, "Hey, look, Harper. I don't care what's supposed to happen next time. I see you. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." Luke Harper said, "You should pick someone on TV next time." That is so funny.
Actually, Twitter and WWE.com, they have the best promos.
I believe it.
The shit that's on TV is trash. Everybody's promo is trash.
Oh,
Just about.
Katie so and so and Lana are getting into it.
You mean
Katie,
Mighty Casey?
yes, Casey so and so, yes,
Casey Kentazaro.
Casey so and so. Please understand, I'm never gonna call her by her real last name. It's not gonna happen. I enjoy calling her this. She said, "Lana, Ricochet is nothing special, girl. You better get your eyes checked." That's what Casey so and so said. And then Lana said, "Clearly, the truth makes you hashtag salty. I got my eyes checked though, and the doctor said they are ravishing."
So Casey is standing for Ricochet.
For Ricochet.
I think they go
Hmm.
together.
Do they? I could see that. They look like they would both do like CrossFit, American Ninja Warrior bullshit for fun.
uh,
Like, let's just jump on the warped wall. Sure. Um,
I gotta get on Impact's YouTube channel because I need to see some Tessa Blanchard. I haven't. I've been watching her from afar and I haven't seen her in a couple of months. I need to see what she's doing.
oh, Matt Hardy did lose weight.
Oh, he's ripped.
You better knock 15 years off. Oh, and did he dye the blonde streak out?
Oh yeah, he didn't have none of that broken shit going on.
Oh,
Just straight up,
interesting.
straight up Hardy Boys for the home state.
Interesting.
Hmm.
What else has Rusev been up to?
He's very active on Twitter.
Okay. He said, "I'm just trying to make sense." That's so funny.
So we'll see what kind of hot water or what kind of residuals this plays out with Ronda giving up the belt, going rogue on Twitter.
She doing a lot on Twitter, and I'm just like, if you supposedly are a wrestling fan from way back, I feel like you should know better than to do some of these things.
Right. Right.
I was like, have you told me a story? Are you really not a fan all your life? Did you just start like hanging out with like Roddy Piper right before he died? Like, tell me true. You don't really fuck with the WWE like that. You just thought it was real cool when you was at WrestleMania that one time.
Right. Let me
Mm-hmm.
switch. Let me switch the conversation before we go.
Mm-hmm.
To excuse me. What'd you
Mm-hmm.
feel about Batista coming back? How did he look? And what do you think about how they did it? And are you excited to see him wrestle Triple H?
I'm not excited to see him wrestle Triple H. I'm not excited about watching 50-year-olds wrestle.
Even if they look like Batista?
Don't care. I
Okay.
do like Batista though. It's the DC connection. It's the ambiguously raised. It's the Marvel superhero judge. Like I enjoy him. I enjoyed him when he was at SmackDown 1000. But if you're asking me, like, am I gonna watch this match at WrestleMania? That's inevitable, and be like, fuck yeah, Batista. No. But if he wins, I'll be like, he won. He's not gonna win. Please. Triple H is like, booked what?
No,
No.
no. Triple H does do jobs at WrestleMania now.
He's not gonna do one to Batista.
Okay. We may have to put like a quarter on it.
I put a good 55 cents. I ain't scared.
Because he's trying to erase the stench of Booker T. He's been trying to do that for like the last 15 years.
Oh, how he didn't job to Booker T.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll job to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
including people who stop wrestling every day. Like he's 50. He's legit 50. I don't want to watch no 50-year-old wrestle.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he
mean,
just got married again. Sarah Jade sounds like a porn star name. I wonder if Sarah Jade really into that kind of thing.
considering the last time we saw him wrestle, he tore his pectoral muscle real
Yeesh.
bad. Remember that when they did the thing in Australia with him and Shawn Michaels,
Mm-hmm.
and he tore his pectoral, and he put that picture out, and his a whole like chest was all black and blue down his arm.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, so that's what happens when 49, 50-year-old guys wrestle. So if he wants to put himself through that one more time, then good luck.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it, but man, they don't listen. Now, how old is Triple H?
He should be like 50 or 51.
So you know how I just be saying things. I didn't really think he was really 50.
Yeah,
I just said 50 because it sounded right.
if he's not 50, he's definitely 49.
He's 49. He'll be 50 in July.
Yeah.
He's from Nashua. That's amazing. Did you ever watch The Office?
Yes.
Remember they had one of the regional offices in Nashua.
Right.
And
Right.
I was like, where are these cities? Like, what the fuck? So if he's 49, how old is Stephanie? Like 36?
No.
42. She's old as shit. I didn't know they were that close in age.
Mm-hmm.
She must have been playing younger when she was on the TV show.
Yeah, she was like 24, and they had her playing like she was like 19 or 20.
Yeah, because they made it seem like he was robbing the cradle when he did what he did. That's only like, that ain't no time. 7 years is nothing. I thought there was a big age difference between them.
Like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That shit is nasty. I don't care what nobody say. Sitting up there 19 dating a 30-year-old dating a 19-year-old. I'd have been like, get away from my child. I burned him with my get away. Far away. Like, you can't talk to her so she can go get liquor without your help. Go away.
Yeah, so that was, Stephanie and Triple H.
I
Greatest power
mean,
move ever made.
he's an evil genius.
Poor test. Just got moved right on out the way.
He was like, I see what this is. I see your type. I'm your type.
uh,
That is so funny.
yeah. And hopefully soon sooner rather than later, he actually does become the man and takes it over.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's about time for Vince to hang it up as the everyday running of it. If he wants to oversee it and come in from time to time and put a little stank on it from here and there, that's fine. But we're starting to see some cracks in the old armor when it comes to Vince and his thinking and all that stuff. I mean, he's running two stories the same, basically off the same show with Kofi and Becky. It's like it's the same thing,
Yeah.
you know. And I think that's another thing that kind of makes it hard when you split them up, the two shows. Sometimes you just get too much repeat because I mean they just can't write it fast enough.
True.
Yeah, it's like, well, damn, I just saw this last night on Raw. I mean, it's like four different people, but it's the same story.
Right. Yeah.
So, but we'll see with this new refresh of people that they have backstage, and we'll see how it starts to shake out. But
Yeah. I don't trust people, but
but the thing about it is they always get their shit kind of halfway straight heading into WrestleMania. It's the shit
yeah.
after WrestleMania that always is the kind of like, oh man, we got a long time till SummerSlam.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Didi Janae, have a good
All
weekend.
right, friend. You too.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Good night.
Bye. Good night. Boom. That's awesome. Cash out. That's a little bit.